Chapter 494. All of you get lost. Translator, Chibi General Editor, Chibi General. Throwing aside expendable goo, a goo master's first choice of a goo worm would become their vital goo. The relation between vital goo and a goo master were very close. One could even say their lives were connected. No matter which side was injured, the other side would also be implicated. Vital goo had one advantage which other goo did not have. That was no matter how severe the backlash was after goo refinement failure, the vital goo was still preserved. Thus, most goo masters would regard the vital goo as their core goo. Generally, the goo master's strongest goo worm is their vital goo. Once a vital goo forms, it would be difficult to change it. But that was not absolute. If the goo master found an extremely good goo worm and wanted to cultivate it as their vital goo, they could destroy their original vital goo. But this type of action was extremely dangerous. Once the vital goo was destroyed, the goo master would suffer enormous backlash. At the least, they would suffer heavy injuries, and the worst outcome meant death. After rebirth, Fang Yan's vital goo was spring-autumn cicada, which had been hibernating in the center of his first aperture with no movement. Now, he had a second aperture and had a chance to choose a second vital gumpian. He had been able to guess this from the goo recipe, but Fang Yuan was still happy after truly finding that it gave him this chance to choose. Which goo should I choose as my second vital goo? Immortal goo could be taken out of the equation. Fang Yuan's second aperture was only a rank 3 mortal aperture, unable to store immortal goo. Spring-autumn cicada was a special situation. Besides spring-autumn cicada, Fang Yuan also had 2 other immortal goo fixed immortal travel and gruel mud. But immortal goo gruel mud was an expendable goo. If he made it his vital goo, after it is used up, Fang Yuan will suffer heavy backlash. Fang Yuan naturally would not do such a stupid thing. As for fixed immortal travel, it was far away at the poisonous grassland, so there was no need to mention it. Without much hesitation, Fang Yuan made his decision. It was rank 3 all-out effort goo. He was cultivating strength path and enslavement path. All-out effort goo was a must and was also the most ideal core of the strength path. Previously, Fang Yuan intended to use undefeated 100 battles goo to ensure the safety of the all-out effort goo during goo refinement. But due to many reasons, and because of the situation, Fang Yuan had no choice but to use undefeated 100 battles goo to refine immortal goo fixed immortal travel. As long as all-out effort goo became his second vital goo, Fang Yuan would no longer need to worry losing this precious goo worm after goo refinement failure. 2 days passed in an instant. Fang Yuan returned to the northern plains through Stargate Goo. The time flow in Hu Immortal Blessed Land was 5 times faster than the outside world. Fang Yuan had spent 2 days in the Blessed Land, but only a night had passed in northern plains. It was crack of dawn. From the edge of the sky, gentle purple and white colors started to appear. As the sun started to rise, the grass started to gradually look glossy green from the previously dark color. The crescent lake reflected the dazzling sunlight and sparkled. The light of dawn shone upon Fang Yuan's face. He smiled and looked at the side. The sparse wolf group was once again replenished, with many white wolf figures. These were water wolves with a size that crossed 10,000. A water wolf myriad beast king led them along with 6,000 wolf kings under it. As for the vermilion flame wolf group, night wolf group, mutated beasts and so on, Fang Yuan did not bring them. It would be too abrupt and conspicuous if he brought them all out at once. Fang Yuan was disguising as Chang Shan Yin and wanted to properly manage this identity, thus he had to avoid such exposing actions. Water wolves were different. This action was proclaiming he was taking in wild water wolves. The water wolves' appearance was easily explained, but if Night Wolf Beast Emperor or those mutated wolves appeared, it would make no sense. I will have to continue taking in the wild water wolf groups. Fang Yuan rode on the hump wolf, and with a thought, the whole wolf group again moved out majestically towards the next destination. 3 days later, on a certain area beside the Crescent Lake, goo masters from 2 tribes were furiously looking at each other. Zhong Fei, your Zhong tribe is too much of a bully. These 5 black-skinned fat beetles are clearly our tribe's goods, but you actually dare to seize it out in the open. One tribe leader, Chai Jong, shouted. Bullshit. We have already agreed to our territories with this water wolf nest as the boundary, and this is our Chai tribe's territory. As these 5 black-skinned fat beetles have come to our Zhong tribe's territory, they naturally become ours. Zhong tribe leader, Zhong Fei Yu sneered. Chai tribe's Gu masters were furious at such words. Chai Zhong's face even flushed with anger as he lashed out. Shameless! Our Chai tribe is moving out our camp to hurry to the heroes' assembly, and naturally we need to pass through this place. Zhong Fei. Yu's eyes shone with a chilly light as he grinned. So this is your Chai tribe's mistake. You could have detoured this place. Why would you walk into my tribe's campground? White Chai tribe's Gu masters were raging. Zhong tribe camp was placed at a tricky position, occupying the main road. It would be even more troublesome if Chai tribe was to take a detour. The way around had at least 3 myriad beast groups. Zhong tribe's action was intentionally extorting them. Zhong Fei. You aren't your actions too unsightly? Chai Zhong gnashed his teeth. Zhong Fei. You shrugged his shoulders without concern, laughing coldly. If your Chai tribe doesn't accept it, we can fight it out. Chai tribe's Gu master's momentum slowed down. Chai tribe was a small-scale tribe, while Zhong tribe had expanded into a mid-scale tribe 2 years ago. Zhong tribe was strong. If they fought, Chai tribe would definitely suffer. As the Chai tribe's leader, Chai Zhong was naturally clear of this. He had thought of retreating, but 3 of these black-skinned fat beetles were holding their tribe's most precious goods. These goods had been meticulously gathered and were what the Chai tribe wanted to use to side with Liu Wenwu. If he had to give them up, Chai Zhong was of course very unwilling. In the end, should he fight or retreat? Just as the 2 sides were in a stalemate and Chai Zhong was hesitating, from far away wolf howls resounded. Howl, howl. Wolf howls came one after another, endlessly. At the same time, the sounds of a large number of beasts rushing forward were also transmitted to everyone. This lineup, wolf group. It is noon right now and the water wolf's nest is nearby. How could a wild wolf group come here? Zhong tribe and Chai tribe's people shifted their gaze toward the location of the sound, as if they were facing a great enemy. They soon saw the majestic wolf army rushing towards them like a river, through the sparse jungle. In this wolf group, there were strong night wolves, the defensive turtleback wolves, outstanding wind wolves, and the white fur water wolves, which were the majority. Different from other wolf groups, they were moving harmoniously like an army. There was only one reason for this. Chai Zhong's heart thumped as he immediately thought of a person, Chang Shan Yin. Zhong Fei. Yu's expression became extremely unsightly. Their Zhong tribe also wanted to side with Lord Liu Wenwu. Thus they were coveting after these goods of Chai tribe, but they had never thought someone would upset the whole situation at the crucial moment. As the wolf group approached closer, the Gu masters of the 2 tribes became restless. Such a large wolf group, someone could not help exclaiming in shock. Gasp, this scale, there are at least 28,000 turtleback wolves, 15,000 night wolves, and the wind wolves are even more than the night wolves. The water wolves are the largest with about 32,000. Someone drew in a cold breath and calculated the numbers with his rich experience. The wolf group's size was really too big. They spread open grandly, forming a half-moon-shaped formation and covering the 2 tribes. Zhong tribe and Chai tribe's Gu masters were instantly surrounded, and with the crescent lake behind them, they were in an unfavorable situation. Didn't they say Chang Shan Yin suffered huge losses after attacking Pei, Bei, and Zhong tribes? Why does he still have so many wolves left? Chai Zhong's lips turned dry. The dense wolf group not only covered them, there were still many of them left who were hiding in the forest, their figures indistinct. Zhong Fei. You could not keep up his relaxed attitude from before. He looked at the large numbers of 1,000 beast kings and myriad beast kings among the wolf group. His heart stuck in his throat. Enslavement path was different from other paths. They could change the situation with just a lone force. Normal enslavement path. Gu masters were already people who should not be underestimated, let alone Chang Shan Yin. Zhong Fei. You understood clearly that these wolf groups were enough to annihilate their Zhong tribe 2-3 times over and still have enough strength left, simply because they were in the wild with no obstacles to rely on. They did not have the walls of their camp, they were not in formation. They did not have time to rest, and also no time to recover their primeval essence. One hump wolf carrying Feng Yuan on its back leisurely walked out of the thin forest. Chang Shan Yin, Zhong Fei Yu and Chai Zhang similarly called out. In an instant, countless eyes gathered on Fang Yuan's face. Fang Yuan expressionlessly rode on the hump wolf with his back upright, just like Chang Shan Yin's habit. His sharp gaze swept through everyone. He did not speak, but his closed lips was sufficient to display Chang Shan Yin's proud and aloof aura vividly. Zhong tribe and Chai tribe's Gu masters were silent. They only felt an enormous rock pressing down on their heart. The atmosphere seemed to freeze and made it difficult for them to breathe. Especially when they thought of the Wolf King Chang Shan Yin challenging 3 tribes in one night, many started to shiver. Pei, Baiai, and Zheng tribe had been mid-scale tribe for a long time, while Chai tribe was only a small-scale tribe, and Zhong tribe had only advanced to mid-scale tribe not long ago. Zhong Fei. Yu and Chai Zhang glanced at each other, seeing the graveness and the intent to cooperate in each other's eyes. Oh, the two were similarly agonized. Just now, they were both about to fight, and now they had the hearts to ally. This play of fate really made one not know whether to cry or laugh. Lord Chang Shan Yin, your fame is well known to me, Zhong Fei Yu. Zhong Fei Yu gritted his teeth and bowed deeply towards Fang Yuan. No one felt that the grand tribe leader, Zhong Fei Yu's action was inappropriate. The other was Chang Shan Yin. But Zhong Fei, Yu had yet to finish speaking when Fang Yuan waved his hand and indifferently said, "All of you get lost. Don't block me." Zhong Fei. Yu's eyes widened, his eyes showing an unconcealable humiliation. But he did not retort and instead lowered his head, bowing towards Fang Yuan again before turning around to his Zhong tribesmen. "Retreat." Chai Zhong discerned the situation and also immediately shouted, "We are also retreating." Immediately, both the tribes started retreating far away. Soon, the crowded lakeside only had the wolf groups and Fang Yuan, one person. Of course, there were also those 3 slow-moving black-skinned fat beetles. Fang Yuan glanced at these 3 black-skinned fat beetles without interest. The things the 2 tribes were fighting for did not have enough attractive force towards him. He waved his hand and the water wolf group immediately rushed into the water, circling and attacking the water wolf nest here.